And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we are going to be solving puzzles. All different types of puzzles, some spatial puzzles, some math puzzles. It's a very puzzly game that also has a tile laying component to it. We're talking about a game called Enigma. This is from Z-Man Games. It's for 2 to 4 players, plays in 30 to 45 minutes. This is not out yet as of today probably. Sometime in July it's coming out for real for Z-Man. It's a reprint. Somebody else had the rights beforehand, and now Z-Man has it, and they're republishing this. So let's take a look and see how it's played, and I'll see you on the other side. In Enigma, you're going to be trying to score points. The first one to 15 points is going to win. And we do that by solving puzzles and then placing our pawns on those puzzle tiles to score points. Let's take a closer look. Here we have the start tile, which is, you know, from this little emblem here, and on the back side it has a cool little piece of artwork there. So we have a start tile. We also have 4 different types of puzzles that will be in here. One player is randomly assigned the first player token for the round. He has this in front of him, and he can choose any 4 of these different puzzle types. So this stack is always going to be using these pieces, and so on and so forth. So that person can take a puzzle. Maybe he takes this one, and he takes the bits that comes with this puzzle. Now he might be choosing this because he likes this type of puzzle, or he might be choosing it because of the layout here. We'll talk about more of that later. Then in clockwise order, the rest of those people will take on the puzzles. Only one of these puzzles can be taken each time. And since there's 4 players in this game, all 4 of these puzzle tiles are going to be used. And then everyone is going to get ready to solve their puzzle. So simultaneously, everybody will flip over this tile and they'll have a puzzle. Now this one, because we got it from the scales, is going to be basically balancing scales. Now there's little weights that come with this one here, and this will always tell you how many you use. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We use 5 of the 6. There's 6 of them, we will only use 5 of them. And in this one, what you're trying to do is get the scales to evenly match. So we have numbers 13, 6, 5, and 7. And essentially what you do is if I put a weight here, this is worth 6. If I put a second weight there, this side now is worth 12. And so what you're trying to do is figure out how to match these up to get them to even up. And saving you the gory details, if I had got it here, which is 13 and 6 is 19, and 7 and 5, 14 and 5 is also 19. So this would be split. If I was the first one to finish this puzzle, I would take the sand timer that's there, flip it, and let everybody know that I have flipped it. And you can only do this after you successfully have finished the puzzle. This is a 45-second timer. This means everybody else has 45 seconds to do this. So this won't start to get flipped until the first person finishes successfully their puzzle. Now, at the end of the 45 seconds, the people who successfully did their puzzle, they basically just show someone that they've completed it. And starting with the person with the start player moving clockwise, they get to place these on the board. Now, the way this works is you can basically place these anywhere. And what you're trying to do is, in this case, let's say I put this here because it goes there, and I could put my guy, let's say I was red, I have to put him on the tile that I just placed, and I can put him on any one of these zones here. And one of the rules is when you put it here, if there was already a player on here, let's just say, I couldn't go on green because these are connected and someone's always already on the green one. But if nobody's there, I can go here, and now in a future round, if someone actually put one here, they could not now go on the green because it's in the same network and there's already somebody on green. Those are pretty much the simple placement rules there. And so I could place this like this. And this would go, so maybe, yes, maybe someone else, the second person finished, and maybe they did this. Hey, maybe they like the color green. And this person actually placed here, and this is okay because I'm on green on this network. This person placed on green in this network, and they're not touching. So it is possible for you to end up actually being on the same color as somebody by wrapping it around later. It's just on that network, they can't be on the same thing at that time. And so let's say just 2 of us got it right, and that would be it. So how do you score points? Well, at some point, these will get closed off. So let's say in a future round, I finished one and I put this like this. This closes this off, this closes that off. This would be closed. And I have a guy here and I would get 2 points, 1 for each green one because my guy's on green. If there was a black guy here, he would get 1 point because there's only 1 blue in this network. So let's say later in the game, it looked something like this. And some of the networks can get quite big. So here's the starting tile, and this red player is on green. And green goes up to here, and it gets ended at those 2 marks. It comes up here, it goes around here, it gets ended at that mark, and then it comes all the way around here. And then let's say he finished one, and he put one like that, and then the red player maybe goes something like this. Now look at this. It's closed now. Now this red player is going to get 1 point for every green in that network. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there, 6. Plus he's going to get 1 for each orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's going to get a total of 13 points. That's huge. That's almost all you need for the game. Because up here in the scoring here, we only need 15 points to get in the game. So he would have gotten 13. Red would have went here. Now, of course, this would have taken a long time for you to get this, because you really have to think ahead and figure out. And it's hard to close some as well, because other people are trying to make it go longer to make you not close things. So sometimes you'll do really small ones, and sometimes you'll do big long ones. And that's essentially how the scoring works. Let's look at the other 3 puzzle types. Okay, this one looks like a little eagle there, and it gives you 7 pieces. And when this gets flipped over, you have some sort of shape. And using these 7 pieces, you have to make it exactly match, and it's way harder than it looks actually, because sometimes things just don't match up. You can see that this one here might go like that, and maybe not, maybe it goes like this. So you can see that it's really different to try to put this as very much spatial. And once again, just to show you how it would be finished, of course, these puzzles always look so easy when you're looking at other people's solutions once you know the solution, but it's not always so easy. The key here was like there was a little bump out there and a little bump out there, and that kind of helps you figure out, okay, this one has to probably go there or here. And so, but it's not that easy. So that's the second type. Now the third type has tunnels. When you flip this over, some of them tell you which pieces will not be used this time. And this says one of the corner pieces is not used. Some will use all of them. And what you've got to do is try to use these tunnels so that all these are either ended or pretty much used. So let's say, you'd put this here, maybe this one goes something like this. This one, let's put this one in the middle. This one maybe goes like this. And this one maybe goes like this. And so on and so forth. So you're trying to get this tunnel completely built. And I think I've got this one figured out here, here, and here. Boom. And then I've got all of them are teed or there. And that would be the end of that puzzle. And the last kind of puzzle here is using these blocks. So when you flip this over, this shows you looking top down with these different blocks, and they're all different shapes, have to look like by looking down. So I know that this one, for example, probably has to be something like this or something like this on the top looking down. Same for this. This is going to be probably underneath the red one and maybe looking like this, and I'm actually terrible at this one. Green one's got to be looking like that. So you would fiddle with these, trying to get them together. Everything has to be flat against the ground. There can't be any holes in between these either. And honestly, I am so bad at these ones with the spatial stuff that I can't even get this one to get right. These ones frustrate the you know what out of me. So that's the way it's supposed to look top down, and that's the block puzzles. So everyone's doing one puzzle per turn. The ones that get it right get to place it. Once things are scored, they're scoring points. As soon as somebody gets at least 15 points or more, that's the end of the last round. After everyone has had a chance to score that round, the one who has the most points is the winner. All right, so what did I think about Enigma? Well, being an engineering type of person, I like puzzly games. Mutant Meeples is probably one of my favorite games like that from BGA games. And I definitely like puzzles, and I love the Carcassonne aspect of tile laying. And it's almost like this game is like a puzzly game with Carcassonne added to it. It's really weird how to explain it, but I just love the fact that there's 4 different puzzles, and they're all different, and I'm terrible at some of them, and I'm good at others. And it's interesting to see that when you play this game, it's different with 2 and 4 players. With 4 players, when you're 3rd and 4th in line, you're just going to get whatever's left to you, and you're just going to have to deal with it. But then on your turns where you're 1 and 2, you can really pick the puzzles you want. An interesting thing is, when you're picking the puzzle tiles, you might have a tile that really is going to help you in the board layout and scoring the points, but it might be a puzzle you're not that good at. Or do you go for the sure thing and be like, hey, I'm always good at the scale puzzle, but that tile won't help me right now, but maybe I could put it somewhere else and get a guy and score him later. So there's always that weighing of, do I go for the things I'm good at, but it might not help me short term, or so on and so forth, and I like that. So with 4 players, it feels very tight like that, where you might not get a lot of the choices of the tile puzzles that you really want. 2 players, it's a lot more open. You have a lot more freedom. You can probably grab the tile that you want more often than not. There was one game where my counterpart really, my opponent loved the little the pipes, and I loved the scales, the math one. And more often than not, we were grabbing those and putting things around. So I think 3 actually might be the sweet spot here. You know, it's kind of a little bit open, but still kind of a little bit tight. But I would never turn down a game from 2 to 4 players. They're all great. They just feel quite different and be knowing that. So the puzzles themselves, what do I think about those? I love them. I'm terrible at the spatial stuff. The blocks, you can give me all day and I'm not finishing those things. The spatial ones I'm not as good at, but I have found that even on some of the spatial ones, we found actually with all the puzzles, some of them you might get a really easy one, and even if it's something you're not good at, there's a chance that you might draw an easy puzzle for that type, and you'll still be able to do it. Where you might not be able to do a medium or a hard one on that one, but you'll probably be able to do an easy one. And on the ones you're really good at, maybe easy and medium, you blow right through, and with the hard ones, you might not get to. So I love that there's ranges of difficulty for each of them. If I had any suggestion, I would have said, well, there's 3 of the puzzles that are quite spatial, and there's 1 that's sort of mathematical and logical. I would have liked to have seen 2 and 2. Maybe 2 mathematical and logical and 2 spatial. That way it evens things out. That would be my only suggestion. I love the aspect of figuring out where to score, where to put the guys, moving them around, trying like on Carcassonne where you got a guy on a tile and you're trying to add one to get on somebody else's points. That's really cool. So overall, if you like tile laying and you like puzzles, this is one that you're gonna have to check out. I really like this one, Enigma.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.